Hello, how are you today? I hope you're having a great day. Today, we're going to read a book I've never read before, but on the inside cover, it has cupcakes and cakes. How can that be a bad book, right? So, this one is called Toad's Road Code. I like reading books about frogs. And I brought my coffee this morning. And look, it's in a little flamingo cup. If you're watching from Miss Holly's class, Miss Holly gave me that mug. So let's read about Toad's Road Code. Toad wore a coat and a big smiley grin, and a little bow tie nestled under his chin. His home was a hole at the side of a brook. It was neat, it was tidy. Come in, take a look. Who knows what a brook is? It's water, that's right. Like a big body of water, yeah. This toad was a traveler, and he liked to roam all over the marshes surrounding his home. But one day he thought, I think I shall wander to visit my cousin who lives way over onder. He's going to go see his cousin. You guys have cousins, huh? Yeah. From his cozy toad hole, he skipped and he hopped with a nice gooey cake, which he never dropped. He whistled a tune as he bounced and he bopped to the road at the end of the marsh where he stopped. How diddly-do will I make it across with neither myself nor my cake getting squashed? But I'm due at my cousin's for afternoon tea. So how hard can it be? I mean, seriously. Look, there he is holding his little cake. Yeah. That looks like a very delicious cake. So, straightening his tie, he set off at a pace with a hop and a skip and a jump, an admirable grace. He launched himself into the first lane he saw and met with a terrible, ear-spilling roar. Yikes, went the toad, leaping out of his skin as he covered his ears from the terrible din. Frightened, he flattened himself to the road. Goodness, what was that? Did something explode? Look really close. What do you think that is? What is that right there? If he's crossing a road, maybe. Let's see. No, it was only the sound of a car. You were right. It was a car tire, which passed him close by and zoomed off afar. The toad, though, had given a bit of a start and lay on the ground with his hand on his heart. Have you done that? Gotten scared and went, whew. Yeah, I do that too. How diddly-do will I ever imagine to cross to the next lane without any damage? But I'm due at my cousin's for afternoon tea. So how hard can it be? I mean, seriously. Whew. Hopefully he gets to his cousin's. So he gathered together his wits and his cake. He straightened his tie and proceeded to take a very deep breath, then a hop, skip, and a jump to the very next lane where he was met with a bump. Up in the air went the cake and the toad. Splat went the cake as it splashed on the road. Yikes went the toad, landing safe on the bank, startled and shaken. What was that? A tank? What do you think it is? There's your clue right there. See it? This right here? What do you think it is? No, not a tank, just a really big truck. What color was that truck? Do you remember? Red. It was a red truck. Good memory. No, not a tank, just a really big truck, which the toad was glad that he managed to duck. The cake, though, had taken the brunt of the wallop and lay on the road in a big gooey blollop. I bet it's got some dirt in it. My cake, wailed the toad as the truck flew on by, but he brushed himself down and then straightened his tie. He picked all that up that remained of his cake and carried it to his cousin's small house by the lake. Look, there's his cousin. He's ready to see him. He's waving like that. How diddly do, said the toad. I'm glad to see you. And goodness, it showed. Come in, said the cousin. Sit down if you're able. We'll have some gooey cake at my table. The toad sat with his cousin, a frog, and they nattered of frog and toad things and of family matters. Then finally their chat came around to the road and how to cross safely the safe toad code. That's what it is. Ready? Want to say the toad road code with me? Stop at the drop. It's too dangerous to hop. Look at things wheeled. Better keep your eyes peeled. Listen all around. Can you hear any sound? If there's nothing that you can see or hear, then you can hop across. You have nothing to fear. That's a good code, huh? The toad thanked his cousin and ate some more cake and finally looked at his watch. It was late. Well, thanks for the tip and the cake and the tea, but I'd better get going now, seriously. The frog gave the toad a hug and his jacket and the last piece of cake in a brown paper packet. Remember the code, he said with a wave, as homeward the toad hopped, feeling happy and brave. Soon, sure enough, the toad came to the place where cars and trucks and more dangerous things raced. So he tried to remember his cousin's advice. Here goes, said the toad, and he reminded himself twice. Stop, look, and listen, the toad's cousin had said. So mopping droplets of sweat from his head, he stepped to the curb and he cupped his ear and then he watched. And when all was clear, he hopped safely across. Hooray, laughed the toad in delight and relief when he stuck out his chin with that tie underneath, which he straightened once more so he didn't look funny, and bounced all the way home just as brisk as a bunny. How diddly happy am I here to be back, said the toad as he hung up his coat on the rack. He loosened his tie and he said, yawning loudly, I think I shall visit again in the morning. The toad wore a coat and a big toothy grin and a little bow tie nestled under his chin. He lives in a brook by a marsh near the road, but he crosses quite often, all thanks to the code. Do you remember the code? Let's say it again together. Ready? Stop at the drop. It's too dangerous to hop. Look for things wheeled. Better keep your eyes peeled. Listen all around. Can you hear a sound? If there's nothing you can see or hear, then you can hop right across. You have nothing to fear. That's a great code, huh? It's good for you too. When you cross the road, you should stop and listen and look both ways and always hold mommy and daddy's hand. Don't ever cross the road without a grown-up, okay? I loved Toad's road code, and I'm glad his cake made it safely. I'll see you next time. Bye.